As a self-described accidental cooperator, Dr. Jessica Gordon Nembhard's academic research and advocacy around economic and social justice led her to cooperatives. With a balance of scholarly rigor, patient persistence, and an infectious laugh, Jessica has attracted a new wave of people who see cooperatives as a means of economic determination, and she has worked to develop institutions to support a new wave of cooperative development. Jessica literally was born into cooperatives. Her parents, Susan and Edmund Gordon, were member residents of Skyview Acres, a cooperative intentional community in Ramapo, New York. There, they raised their 4 children, Edmund T., Christopher, Jessica, and Joanna, in an environment grounded in diversity, open-mindedness, volunteerism, and cooperation. Active in Girl Scouts and a violinist, Jessica's deeply held sense of social justice was evident from the start. Early on, she embraced women's rights, fought for Black studies to be included in her school's curriculum, and participated in anti-war activities. That passion, coupled with a sparkling intellect, led her to rarefied academic settings. Yale, where she graduated magna cum laude with a double major in literature and African American studies. Howard, where she earned a master's degree in teaching. University of Massachusetts, where she earned her master's and doctorate in economics. With each degree, Jessica honed the skills that would later serve her well in advocating for cooperatives as a tool of economic self-determination. But Jessica's experiences outside academia were equally important. She did 2 stints in the Children's Defense Fund. There, she gained an on-the-ground understanding of the damage caused to communities by marginalization and oppression. She was managing editor of a newspaper in Belize, where she met and married her husband. She raised 2 children. Stephen was born just before she started graduate school in economics, and Susan just as she completed her Ph.D. She managed their soccer teams, was a PTA leader, headed the school's restructuring team, and they traveled extensively. But it was in the late 90s when the stars aligned and Jessica's academic and life experiences intersected with the cooperative world in a transformational way. The push was on to create a national network of technical assistance for cooperative development. Advocates for development of what would become the Rural Cooperative Development Grant Program needed credible, unbiased research to show the value of cooperatives in economic development. Armed with research conducted by Jessica and colleagues at the Institute for Urban Research at Morgan State University, the case was made. Since then, Jessica's impact on cooperatives has only grown. Jessica is renowned for her commitment to do the work that needs to get done to build a movement, no matter how unglamorous. Nowhere are the fruits of her labor more evident than in the worker cooperative movement. As a co-founder of both the Eastern Conference for Workplace Democracy and the U.S. Federation of Worker Cooperatives, Jessica is credited with helping build an infrastructure that supports the burgeoning growth of worker cooperatives. At the University of Maryland, she co-founded the Democracy Collaborative, an organization devoted to development of alternative economic structures, including worker cooperatives. Generous with her time, Jessica serves on the boards of the Association of Cooperative Educators, Green Worker Cooperatives, and One DC, participates in the ICA Research Committee, contributes to the Grassroots Economic Organizing newsletter, and advises the Southern Grassroots Economies Project and Federation of Southern Cooperatives. But the pinnacle of her professional career is her seminal work, Collective Courage, a history of African American cooperative economic thought and practice. One co-op historian said that the book was the most complete history to date of the cooperative economic struggles of African Americans from the early times until now. Following in the footsteps of W.E.B. Du Bois, she has illuminated the historical roots of the African American economic cooperation, and thus made a vital contribution to the knowledge so badly needed today for African Americans and all people to come together in mutual aid. The impact of her work is evident at book talks and presentations where students and community developers flock to see Jessica. As one participant observed, Jessica connected cooperatives to their lives, and I watched as a whole new group of people began to see themselves as cooperators. As a teacher and mentor, Jessica has nurtured a whole new generation of cooperators and inspired them to go out into the world and take up leadership roles. One student said, "Dr. Gordon Nembhard is that special kind of educator who can show a drop of water the power of the wave they are in." For her lifelong commitment to economic and social justice, for her belief that cooperatives provide their members with the tools they need to better their lives, for the stories of Black cooperators that she brought to light, tonight we celebrate Dr. Jessica Gordon Nembhard's induction into the Cooperative Hall of Fame.